boys and girls, happy Halloween. If you're someplace where you're going to be celebrating Halloween, and you probably saw some pumpkins I have sitting out just to remind me to say happy Halloween. We're actually not going to talk too much about Halloween. There were a couple of things I wanted to talk about tonight that I think are kind of fun things. And I found both of these things when we were on our trip recently to Colorado in the mountains, which I've talked about. So the first thing I want to talk about is something kind of goofy, tumbleweeds. And tumbleweeds look like this, and you can see they're kind of prickly. And these are actually weeds that started out in Russia and were brought to this country and really multiplied, and tumbleweeds do multiply really fast. And they're kind of a problem for a lot of people in the western part of my country because they roam across the road, they blow very easily, and they get caught up against the fences, but they also end up in farmers' fields. And I think in some parts of the country, they can end up being quite a big problem. But I like them, and I like to actually decorate with them. And you can see I got this one a couple of years ago and actually put lights on this one, and that's above my fireplace. That's a big tumbleweed. And yes, that came blowing across the road in front of us. We were on a back road looking at the mountains, and that thing blew across the road. And I've got some in front here. I've got this one on the trip we were just on and put lights on it. And then this one, I decided just to try to see what would happen if I painted it a lot of different colors. So this is kind of my rainbow tumbleweed. And I like the idea of the tumbleweed because people say, you know, if you're kind of roll like the tumbleweed, then you sort of go wherever the wind takes you. Maybe you're an adventurer. And so I wrote a poem about that, and it is called Like a Tumbleweed. Some people say, I'm a tumbleweed. I can't seem to stay in one place. Sometimes I move from room to room like I'm trying to win a big race. I go from one thing to another and hardly stop to breathe. It seems I just get to one place and I suddenly get up to leave. Where I'm likely to end my journey, like a tumbleweed, I never know. It sort of depends on my mood or the way the wind chooses to blow. Tumbleweeds blow into fences. I'll do something different instead. I'll just run around till I'm tired and tumble straight into my bed. So to tumble means to go end over end, and that's what these tumbleweeds do. The wind blows them, and you'll see them go like that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with us having a little bit of tumbleweed in our personalities, to be willing to sort of go where the wind takes us and be up for an adventure. I think that's fine. So I like my tumbleweeds, and I thought I would share those with you. And another thing that I learned something about when we were traveling was the aspen tree. And I showed you this in another taping, but these are aspen leaves, and I brought these back. I pressed them, and then you can see they're different colors. We have some yellows, and we have some oranges. And in the center, these are green. You can hardly see the green anymore. And then these on the outside are pretty brown. But these are aspen leaves. And somebody mentioned to me when we were traveling that aspen trees are all connected underground, and aspen grows and its roots are close to the surface and sprouts more trees, and those trees start spreading out. But those trees are all connected. If you dig up one aspen, usually it won't survive because it's actually part of this big unit. Sometimes in one place in our country, 47,000 trees, I think, are all connected. That's a lot of trees. And I think that's really interesting. And I wanted to share with you some of the things from an environmental standpoint that aspen trees are really good for. The bark and the buds are food for moose and rabbits, deer, beavers, porcupines, black bears, and other animals. And something in the bark was used to make medicine many years ago. The leaves are food for caterpillars of various moths and butterflies. And in Canada, aspen wood is used for books and paper. And it can also be used for furniture and boxes and crates. So every bit of an aspen tree can be important. It can be used for something. And I think that's interesting, but I think that whole thing about being connected is what really kind of sings to me. And I wanted to show you, here is, okay, these are aspen trees that we saw when we were in Colorado. You can see the black scars. Almost look like Charlie said it almost looked like zebras. And this is where elk sort of strip the bark away and other animals. So the aspen trees are pretty important. So I wrote a poem about aspen trees because I just think they're interesting. This is called We Are All Connected. We are all connected like quaking aspen trees, for I am part of you and you are part of me. We depend upon each other. It matters what we do, since you are part of me and I am part of you. If one of us is hurting, the other feels it too, because you are part of me and I am part of you. Aspen trees are like that. They share a common root. They form a big community from a single common shoot. We need to be like aspens because they know it's true that you are part of me and I am part of you. And I think it would be so good if we could all remember that, not just person to person, but country to country, that we're all connected. And when one of us hurts, we all hurt. And we're important to each other, and what we say or do matters to other people. Just like the aspens are connected, so we're connected too. And you are connected to me, and I am connected to you, and I'm very glad about that. So 1, 4, 3, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.